It is important what you're doing this season and how the PSO is responding to everything. It's so important to people to be able to have that continued connection, I think, with the orchestra and with the music.
I think what people have realized, and musicians have also realized, how dependent we are on each other. We need the audience. And I talked to musicians yesterday, and they said the most difficult thing recording these things next week, or playing again at Merrill, is that the audience is not going to be there, and that we feed off the energy of the audience. That is how concerts get so excited. And if the audience is not there, we have to compensate for that. So we will applaud for each other. We will encourage each other more than usual, because we need always energy to feed off. And so it is going to be very different, but it is so exciting to be back. It is going to be a very, I think, meaningful way of making music, because after half a year break, everybody that I've talked to has been practicing every day. Because that's just what we do. That's who we are. We cannot just live without music. Even if we don't perform, we still do music. That's our life. And so I think that it will be an extremely emotional event.
And you're doing this for in the Merrill. And tell me again how you're setting this up, because I thought that was really interesting.
So we will be on stage at Merrill Auditorium as we usually are. The orchestra is going to be smaller because we have to, and we happily follow the city and state guidelines of the CDC. And so we're going to have an orchestra of about 23 people on stage, and they will be all spread out 6 feet apart at least, more for the wind players. Everybody's going to wear masks. The wind players are going to have some sort of plexiglass walls around them to protect them and others. And we're going to have a phenomenal recording company who will be really translating the sound on stage, for the audience to hear, which is much trickier than it sounds, because of the distance, and then also all the protective gear that we have to wear.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fun time. It's a strange thing to say, but this is a really fun time, I think, for people in the engineering business, because they are going to also have to get to be creative in new ways. And that's the thing that's been so strange about this whole experience. As hard as it is, I've just seen so much creativity come out of the music and arts community. I'm not surprised, really, are you? Because you're all creative people. But it's just been interesting and exciting to see the different ways in which you're responding to this.
It is pretty amazing what has happened in the past month, and how musicians and organizations adapted to the new normal, as we like to say. Yes, we are creative, but we are also dealing with a non-digital medium. And I think the power of music in many ways, as I alluded to before, is the people-to-people context, the social context of music. So how do you replicate that in a digital medium? And I think that is the challenge, but it's also an opportunity. And so what the Portland Symphony has been really vetting a lot of different, as we say, vendors or organizations who do video and sound recording. And we decided for the classical series to go with Parma, which is basically a recording label. They do also video, of course, based in New Hampshire. And that's an organization that won a Grammy Award for their recording in 2020, so this year. And they've been working with international orchestras like the London Symphony with Simon Rattle. So it's really a top-notch organization. And so I think we are in good hands, because it is going to be really tricky to really enjoy full orchestral sound through a screen, and so in particular when you sit in front of a computer. But even in front of a computer, you can tell if it's a good recording or a bad recording. And so I think people will be very pleased with the final result.
Well, I also think what will be interesting about this experience is that I know you'll miss that energy with the audience. And I know the audience will miss that energy too, because we feed off of that from you. I mean, it's very much a symbiotic relationship in a very good way. But there's also something interesting about experiencing that in the intimacy of your own home when you're in, no offense to the Merrill Auditorium, but super comfortable chairs. So I just have this feeling that some people will be like dancing around and moving. So, people will experience it in a different way. All of us will, in the privacy of our homes. So I think there's something to look forward to in that too.
Yes, it would be interesting to know what people are actually doing while we're playing, and I know that people enjoy being comfortable in the home and doing whatever, and they can have drinks while we play, or they can eat. They can do, that's what people did, in maybe not for Vivaldi per se, but in boys' time or so. People would eat and would talk and would socialize while the music was playing. So this is unfathomable these days. I'm not in favor of reclaiming that part of the concert experience, but people can certainly do that at home. On the other hand, people also like to dress up and go out and have a dinner and have a concert that they experience with 2,000 other people. So I think there's pros and cons to either side. I think at this point, it is really about enjoying music together in different ways, and just being able to connect with our audience. We've been apart for so long. We need to stay relevant. We need to stay present. We want to play music. We want to keep. Also, maybe it is a way of leading this medium, music, into the new century, into a new era. And I think we need to be ready for that. And I think orchestras do that.
I think so too. I wonder if the PSO should ask people to send in like videos, like, what are you doing? Because I bet some people will, maybe they'll have some friends that maybe they have some friends that they feel comfortable with, that they will have over, and they'll still dress up and they'll still make an occasion out of it. I mean, it could be kind of interesting to find out how people go about doing this and how they go about experiencing the symphony.
It is definitely an opportunity to create little social pods, where you can have your private dinner and then you all watch together. Instead of a movie, you watch together a concert. And I think that can be a really, really enjoyable new experience.
I do too.
And so yeah, I mean, you always have to be careful what you wish for when you say, send me your picture how you watched our concert. But I think it will be interesting, and it will show us, what people associate with music. If they associate a wine or a beer or a dinner or just relaxation, maybe have the fireplace on. I think it will be interesting.
One of the things I'm really excited about was, and we mentioned this when we talked before, was that you're doing the Vivaldi, you're doing Boyce and Vivaldi, but I really do want to mention also the Max Richter, because that's one of these pieces that I think has that, I don't know if this is the right word or if someone in your position even appreciates this word, but it has that sort of crossover appeal where people who may not be familiar with Vivaldi might hear Max Richter, and through Max Richter's reimagining of Vivaldi, then listen to the real thing.
I think that Max Richter has done an extraordinary job at taking the Vivaldi or bits and pieces of it and making something new out of it. And people will recognize Vivaldi. I'm sure they will love the Richter. And from what I've heard from musicians, is that they love the Richter too. I love it very, very, very much. Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the program. And what he does is he takes little bits and pieces and then loops them sometimes, or just by taking one note out, all of a sudden it becomes a groove. Mm-hmm. And it is really interesting. It's like if Vivaldi would be alive, maybe he would compose this way. It is very non-dissonant music. It's very fun to listen to, And if you don't know, or if you know the Vivaldi, either way, I think you will love the Richter. It is really phenomenal, a phenomenal, interesting sound world.
It
I think
is.
people will love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And that's coming up on a Tuesday, October 6th.
Yes, on Tuesday, October 6th. And we will also, and I like that, you know, the Vivaldi is based on or inspired on poems that he might have written himself. We are not quite sure, but they're actually in my score that is right now in front of me. There are throughout the score these little bits of poems that he then illustrates. You know, if you're if in the winter you're stamping your feet and you have you know, or if your teeth are chattering, all that is in the music. And so what we will do is while we're playing the music, people can actually follow along with the poems as they appear in the score.
Oh, that's great. So is there any way you can like hold that score up and to your camera so we could see that?
Well, let me find out. So for instance, I here have one here that's a little bit marked up. It says here, right here, it says that the liquor ignites the drunks or something like that. And then in the next page there's this the drunk, and this basically illustration of someone being drunk.
Yeah.
And then the drunk tumbles and tries to get up, and so it is very, you know, at the beginning of the movement is the peasants celebrate the spring in dance and song.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so it is really, it's not the first time or the only time that this is like an early version of a tone poem, which of course then got into full bloom with the Romantics and the post-Romantics, you know, Rimsky-Korsakov and Franz Liszt, whom we usually credit Franz Liszt to kind of the big creator of the tone poem, or Richard Strauss. This is all based on pieces like this of the Baroque era.
That's so cool. That's just going to be really exciting. So Eckart, before we go, I want you to tell me a little bit about the whole passport thing that the PSO is doing.
So we've been thinking about how can we make the PSO accessible. So there are 3 different levels of passports. And you can, depending on what level you pick, which you can find information on our website, you can have follow digitally a certain amount of concerts. So for instance, if you have the super passport level, you get pretty much everything that we put out. You can view, and each show you can view for 30 days. So you don't actually have to watch it at a certain time. You don't have to be there on the 6th to watch the classics, but you can actually also watch it again, or schedule a social gathering, small social gathering with your intimate family on your own terms, and so you can also buy single tickets, and the price there is actually it's very affordable. For single tickets, it starts at $10, and for 2 at $25. So it really depends on how many people are watching. But we cannot control how many people are watching. But of course we appreciate any support. And what I like in particular is that you can watch it from anywhere in the world, basically. So our first concert you can watch on the computer, but starting November, you can actually watch it on your TV, because we are going to have a TV app. So you can watch it on Apple TV, you can watch it on Roku. So you have your big screen, you have your good loudspeaker set up, and you can really make it almost like a concert at home.
Oh, that's going to be super cool. So, there is a way that people can do that even before. I think I should check this out, but I actually, if I'm watching something on my computer, I plug my computer into my TV, if you have a smart TV. So you can do it that way too, I think.
I think if you connect your computer with the HDMI cable to your
Yes,
TV, you can actually use your TV as the monitor,
as the
and
screen.
you
Yeah,
can do that as
yeah.
well. In November, it will just be easier. And what I do personally is that I either buy tickets or subscriptions for my friends or for my mother who's in Germany, for instance, who will never be able to see me conduct here because she's not traveling right now, and so she can actually watch in Germany my concert from her living room. So and I do that with many friends and family. So
Has
it's
your
awesome.
mom seen you conduct a lot in your career since you've been in the States so much, or?
She's seen me a couple of times. She visited the US a couple times and saw me. But that is quite a while ago. I mean, that's probably almost 8-10 years ago, the
Well,
last time
that's
she
really
saw me
nice
conduct.
that she'll be able to see you now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's really great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I always enjoy speaking with you, and I know that everyone is really excited about being able to see and hear you and the members of the orchestra again. Like I said earlier, we need this, and this is the right time for it. So thanks for everything that you and everyone behind the scenes too at the PSO is doing to make all this possible. We're really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Robin. And you know that you will be missed, and I will miss you personally. And I know that the Portland community will be missing you as well. And you've
Oh, that's
been
sweet.
an excellent and passionate advocate for classical music in Portland.
Oh,
And
thank you.
so you will be missed.
Thank
And
you.
maybe I'll just call you up and have like an impromptu kind of interview with you, just for
That would be
fun.
fun. That would be fun. And I'll miss talking to you too. It's been a real treat for me. I mean, I was a huge fan of yours before you came out here because I'd seen you conduct the Spokane Symphony. So for me to actually get to meet you when you first came was really special because I'd followed you for years back in the beautiful inland Northwest. So and who knows, maybe we'll connect in Spokane someday. You never
Yeah,
know.
give me a call when you're in the area and in a town. I think I might actually conduct the Spokane Symphony next season at some point. So
Really, that
I
would be
don't know where you
great.
will be, but yeah, maybe they're gonna have me back at some point.
Oh, that would be great too. Well, have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for taking the time to do this. And we're just all rooting for the PSO and everything that you're doing to keep the music coming. So thanks.
Thank you, I appreciate it.